Hi, everyone. My name is Denise McDonald. I'm the Director of Communications and Fundraising at West Central Women's Resource Center. And I'm joined today with Haidee Maderal, who is our settlement support worker. And her position was made possible because of donations from people like you. So we wanted to share a little video to tell you a little bit about Haidee and about what she does at the center. And just to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your generosity. Hi, Haidee.
Hi, Denise.
Can you start with just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Haidee Maderal, and I'm a immigrant from the Philippines. I came here in Canada June of 2011 with my family, my daughter, and my husband. And as an immigrant, there's lots of ups and downs during the first year of settlement here in Winnipeg. And having this settling in this big dream, a lot of big dream is not easy based on my experience. But I'm not saying that it's the same thing with other people. For some, it's easy to settle, but in my based on my experience, there's lots of struggles happen during the time of our settlement. So yeah, but I'm here with West Central Women's Resource Center now, and I'm so happy, giving back to the community all the support and help that I was able to receive during the time when we first came here.
That's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more about the journey you took to get where you are now?
Yeah, so when we came 2011, it was a struggle to find a job, and I'm a bachelor. I have a bachelor's degree in accountancy back home. I I worked 13 years in a finance department, and when I came here, I didn't know how hard it is to find a survival job. And I'm so amazed with those people who are working in the hospitality um, area. Like what I had is I worked as a hotel room attendant with my first 2 years here in Canada. And I didn't realize that it was a hard job, you know, but with the community and friends, relatives, and resources help, I made it to where I am now, right? Like being an immigrant is not easy because there are a lot of struggles, like as what I've said, looking for a survival job, and you wanted to be back on the work that you have back home, or fill those gaps that you don't work in the same field as before, and also like finding a place to settle your family is one of the challenges as well. You need to plan everything, like um you have to make the best out of it, like you have to consider so much things that will save you money, time, and energy, because settling is not that easy, most especially if you're only living in a paycheck to paycheck, kind of thing. So yeah, and also like in my case, I have a daughter who's 7 years old during that time, and finding a place closer to school, daycare, those kind of things, because we wanted to make it easy for us, because we don't have car during that time. It's so hard, like to live in a far place from those amenities that we need. And raising a child here in Canada is way different from what we have back home. So we have to adjust everything. Like we I personally have a hard time. Like I cannot just leave my daughter at home and go to
Mm.
work, because there are certain rules that we need to consider. And also the most the most stressful that um, I have is like finding myself back to the work experience that I had before. Yeah,
Yeah.
so finding those resources that could help and leave me gain again uh, those self-esteem and um, that courage to be back on my feet, you know. So as a new immigrant, like attending those newcomers programs with different organizations and stuff like that is a big help for me.
And I know that you access programs here at West Central Women's Resource Center,
Yes,
correct?
like before I accessed the service here at West Central Women's Resource Center, I was attending programs with other organizations like Immigrant Center, like they do have like family circles and stuff like that. Also, Aurora Family Therapy, they do have programs for newcomers. And then one time I saw this ad on social media. If I'm not mistaken, it was posted on Facebook. It says like "We Will program," and that when I read that program, I was like, "Oh, this seems so interesting." So I read everything about the program, and it gives me hope, you know, to to be to be able to go back to my my work experience, or even not in my work experience before, but a new career path. So we will program like women empowering women into leadership, which West Central Women's Resource Center um, gave me the opportunity. That's why I'm here now, working with settlement department of the center. Yeah. So luckily, I was chosen to be one of the 2018 batch. Out of 80 participants, we're down to 15,
Wow.
15 applicants. So I was so grateful to be included in that batch, and I attended like a 14-week program, uh, including the mentorship program that gives me like the big opportunity um, to fill up the gaps with my work experience, because I did not work for 5 years because I need to look after my kids, because I get pregnant two consecutive pregnancy. I have two consecutive pregnancies, so I have to be home and look after my kids. So the center gave me the biggest opportunity that I need to to be to be to get back on, to get back on track, stuff like that. Yeah. So West Central Women's Resource Center helped me to be part of the settlement department, which I now work as a settlement support worker. And having the experience as a new immigrant, as a newcomer, give me that strong sense of courage to help other people, like new immigrants, newcomers, and to share my story and hear their stories as well. Yeah. So yeah, and this is where I am now. Thanks to West.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. Well, we're so glad you're
Yeah.
here. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do as a settlement support worker?
Yeah, as a settlement support worker, my key responsibility is to assist newcomers and families in their settlement needs, including, formal and non-formal need, needs and assessments. So taking note of that, even those filing of um, application for like subsidies and daycare, and those small need of some newcomers who are not comfortable or don't have the idea on how to fill up those forms, we do give them support. And aside from the support, we have to like explain to them what's in the forms that they're filling up, what are the uh, pros and cons of having those forms if they fill it up, things like that. And also if they need um, what you call this some other resources with regards to like settling, if they need cheap price furniture with a good quality, we can help them search for those. We also help new immigrants, newcomers and their families to find a space where they need to settle, like rent a space, rent a house or an apartment, stuff like that. And also we also provide them um, some programs and information sessions that could help them start, you know, in settling.
That's amazing. It's a lot to do. And we
Yeah,
know that there's been a long waiting list for this kind of service, and we're hoping that this year we'll be able to see more and more women with your position there now.
yeah, hopefully. And like rest assured that we're doing our, like the settlement team is doing our best to cater all the services that new immigrants, newcomers needs.
Yeah, and it's an amazing team, and you're such a good part of it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about why this sort of one-on-one support is so important?
Oh, yeah, one-on-one support is so important, like based on my experience. uh, there are things that not easy to access, most especially if new immigrants doesn't have any access to internet, computer, and stuff like that. So having this one-on-one support service gives clients like full support of what they need, like you know uh, having and asking what are their plans, like on the first, probably first year or or so of their settlement. And then we can provide them resources, we can guide them, and like if they wanted like to go back to school and earn some certificates or diploma, we give them like resources where they can start applying, where they can have like free education, or where can they get grants for for their study, things like that. So it is very important to have like a one-on-one support to meet the needs of the clients.
Yeah, and really meet them where they are and follow their lead.
Yeah,
What we
yeah.
do in all of our programs. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's amazing. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we go?
um you know what, Denise, I'm so thankful for the funders, for their generous donation that they gave to the center. It's going to be a big help for the settlement team to continue what we're doing right now and to add more support for newcomers, immigrants, and their families. And having said so, I rest assured for the funders that we will do our very best to give back to the community what they deserve.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And I also want to take my turn to thank all the donors that are watching this for your amazing generosity. And we're looking forward to keeping you updated on everything that will happen in the settlement program for this year. But we're hoping it'll be a great year for so many newcomer women and their families to settle here in Manitoba. Bye, Haidee. Thanks so much.
Thanks.